Hello, welcome back. So, in previous sessions, we have discussed about relational database design in a top-down manner, that is designed by analysis. So, in that case, the procedure involved mainly designing an ER conceptual schema, then mapping it into a relational model by our mapping procedure, right? So, primary keys are assigned to each relation based on the non-functional dependencies, right? Then some normalization procedure were applied to detect and remove undesirable functional dependencies and thereby lead each relation into a better state. That was our procedure, right? Now we are going to discuss about relational database design by synthesis. That is relational database design by synthesis. Okay. So in this case, we have a set of all the attributes in the database. Okay. So we are treating all the attributes in the database together as universe of discourse. That is the initial data we have, initial input we have. Okay. And all the non-functional dependencies also will be available. So how these attributes are actually related, that dependencies also will be there. These are the two inputs, and based on this we have to decompose this single relation into a set of relations, right? That is our aim. Okay, so before moving to this relational database design, we will first discuss two desirable properties of this decomposition. Okay, so we have a single relation in our hand which comprises of all the attributes in our database together, and we are decomposing. So while decomposing, we have to ensure that two desirable properties are maintained. Those are dependency preservation. Okay, functional dependencies, all the functional dependencies should be preserved, and when we join together these different relations, sub-relations, it should be non-additive join or lossless join. So these are the major properties to be preserved. Okay. So we will discuss these two properties and we will give some algorithm to test whether the decomposition preserve these properties. Okay. So after that we will design a relational database in this synthesis manner, designed by synthesis manner. So in this session we will see basics of this relational database design by synthesis approach. Then we will discuss two properties of a relational decomposition in this case. Mainly those two properties, that is lossless join and functional dependency preservation. Okay. So in next session we will discuss about the relational database design by synthesis approach. Actually, the synthesis approach seems theoretically appealing, but coming to the practical side, it has not been used for large database design projects, mainly because of the difficulty of providing all the functional dependencies prior to the design. That is the main issue here. So, as we told earlier, in this case, the design by synthesis, the input is all the set of attributes in the corresponding database, that is called universe of discourse, right? That is treated as a single relation together with all the non-functional dependencies. All the functional dependencies also should be provided. Okay, and for many of the applications or many of the databases, providing all these functional dependencies prior to the design is not practical. That is why it's not used for main commercial database projects, whereas the first one, that is designed by analysis, will be used. So coming to the details or basics of this relational decomposition. Okay. So in this case, this bottom-up design, we assume that all possible functional dependencies are known in advance. Before the designing procedure starts itself, we know all the possible functional dependencies. And from those functional dependencies, we will first construct a minimal set of functional dependencies. Okay, so minimal cover will be built up first. And then we apply the algorithms that construct a target set of 3NF or BCNF relations. So in this bottom-up design strategy, we will apply the set of algorithms to the single relation, right? Initially we have a single relation which contains all the attributes of the database. Then we will apply some algorithm to decompose this relation into further sub-relations. And each and every relation, each and every sub-relations in this case will be either in third normal form or BCNF. And one more thing to be noted here is that looking at an individual relation or testing whether it is in higher normal form is not enough to say that the database is in good design. Rather, the set of relations that together forms the relational database schema must possess certain additional properties to ensure that this database is in a good design. Okay, so individual relations should be in higher normal form for definite. Additionally, we have to ensure that all these relations together should possess some additional properties. Mainly these two properties, that is lossless join or non-additive join property and functional dependency preservation property. So in this session we will go through some algorithms to test whether the schema, the set of relations, satisfy or possess these two properties or not. And the next session we will go through the actual design of relational database using this bottom-up strategy. Now these are the design goals. When we design a set of relations, these properties should be there. First one is lossless join property. It's a must condition. Okay. So we will go through some algorithm to test for this losslessness. So what you mean by losslessness means you have already seen spurious tuple, right? So we are decomposing a relation into a set of sub-relations, and later we may want to retrieve some information by joining these sub-relations together, right? So when we join two different relations and create tuples, there should be no spurious tuples. Unwanted tuples should not be there. Meaningless tuples should not be generated. Okay, that is what you mean by this lossless join property or non-additive join property. So that's a must condition when we decompose relations or when we design a set of relations. And second one is dependency preservation properties. So we have a set of functional dependencies, and when we decompose, these functional dependencies should be there. Okay, it should not be lost. That is called functional dependency preservation property. And we will go through some additional dependencies like multi-value dependencies, join dependencies, etc. And we have corresponding normal forms also. Fourth normal form, which is based on multi-value dependency, and fifth normal form, which is based on join dependency. These we will see in further coming sessions. Now coming to the properties of relational decompositions. First one is relational decomposition and insufficiency of normal forms. Okay, so what are the insufficiencies in a normal form? So as we know, we have a universal relational schema initially, right? A single relation, that is R, with all the attributes in the database together, that A1 to AN. Okay. So, and we assume that every attribute name is unique. So, A1 to AN are unique names. And so decomposition means the process of decomposing the universal relation schema R into a set of relation schema D as R1, R2, etc. Rm. That will become a relational database schema by using the functional dependencies. So what we are doing is the single relation R will be decomposed into a set of M different relations R1, R2 up to Rm. And these together forms a relational database schema using this functional dependencies. Each and every relation will be related to each other using these functional dependencies, and those component schemas or those component relations together forms the relational database schema. And we have a condition, attribute preservation condition. That means each attribute in R will appear at least one relation schema Ri in the decomposition, so that no attributes are lost. So we have a set of attributes initially as a single schema, as a single relation, right? We are decomposing this into a set of relations, and these attributes will be a member of any of these sub-relations, right? And the condition or attribute preservation condition says that each attribute in R should appear in at least one relation schema. So it should not be lost. Now another design goal is to have each individual relation Ri in the decomposition D be in BCNF or 3NF. Okay, so individually each relation should be in BCNF or third normal form. that is another design goal. Then additional properties of decompositions like no spurious tuples should be generated or functional dependencies should be preserved. All these conditions also should be met. So we have to preserve all the attributes. None of the attributes should be lost when we decompose the relation, and each individual relation should be either in third normal form or BCNF, and also these relations together should satisfy the lossless join property and the functional preservation property, dependency preservation property. Okay. Now coming to the dependency preservation property of a decomposition. Okay, let's try to define it first. Okay, given a set of dependencies F on R, where R is the universal relation or single relation, right? And the projection of F on Ri, where Ri is a subset of R. Okay, we are dividing R into or decomposing R into a set of components, right? Ri, R1, R2, etc. Rn. So Ri is such a sub-relation. Okay, and the projection of F is the set of functional dependencies. All the functional dependencies together is F. Projection of this F on Ri is denoted by Pri of F. Okay, where Ri is a subset of R. R is a universal relation. From that we are taking a subset as Ri, and that projection is actually a set of dependencies in the form X determines Y in F closure. Okay, and that the attributes in X union Y are all contained in Ri. Both left hand side attributes and right hand side attributes, all those should be present in Ri. So such dependency set is called projection of Ri in F. So the projection of F on each relational schema Ri in the decomposition D is the set of functional dependencies in F closure such that all their left hand side and right hand side attributes are in Ri itself. So those set of functional dependencies together forms the projection of F on Ri. Now the definitions of dependency preservation property. So a decomposition D as R1, R2, etc. Rm of R is dependency preserving with respect to F. Okay, if the union of the projections of F on each Ri in D is equivalent to F itself. That is, we already divided our entire set of functional dependencies into a set of projections, right? Corresponding to each Ri, we have a projection, right? Based on whether those left hand side and right hand side of those dependencies are there in the corresponding Ri, we divide it into projections, right? And if you take the union of all these projections together, and if you take the closure of that, it should be equivalent to, or it should be same as F closure. That is what you mean by equivalency. Okay, so projection closure is equal to F closure. If so, we can say that this decomposition is dependency preserving. Okay, and the claim here is that it is always possible to find a dependency preserving decomposition D with respect to F such that each relation Ri in D is in 3NF. Such a decomposition is always possible, that is a claim. Now the next definition, that is lossless join property. Okay, so a decomposition D is equal to R1, R2, etc. Rm of R has a lossless or non-additive join property with respect to a set of functional dependencies F on R if for every relation state R of R that satisfies F, the following holds, where star is the natural join of all relations in D. That is, corresponding to each projection, corresponding to each relation, sub-relation Ri, we have a state, right? State is denoted by small r, right? So corresponding to each one we have a state, and if we take the natural join of all these states together, that should be same as that the state of the universal database R. Okay, So new spurious tuples should be generated. Okay, if we take the join of all these together, the tuples we got should be the same as the tuples in the original relation. Okay, that is the property meant by lossless join property. And the word loss in lossless refer to the loss of information, not to loss of tuples. Actually, if there is no lossless join property, some additional tuples will be generated, right? Spurious tuples will be generated. So lossless here means the information should not be lost. So now let us go through an algorithm to test for lossless join property. Okay. So input to this algorithm is a universal relation R and its decomposition D as R1, R2, etc. Rm and a set of functional dependencies F. And the aim of this algorithm is to test whether the decomposition D preserves this lossless join property. Okay. So initial step for this algorithm is create an initial matrix S with one row I for each relation Ri and one column J for each attribute Aj in R. Okay, so that is the first step. We have to create a matrix. And number of rows and columns for the matrix is like this. Columns, number of columns corresponding to each attribute in R, the universal relation, we have to create a column. And how many rows will be there? How many Ri's are there? That much rows will be there. So corresponding to each Ri, there will be a row. Okay, this is how we have to create an initial matrix. And how to set the values in this matrix? Set Sij as Bij for all matrices. Simply put Bij depending on the row number and column number. Each Bij is a distinct symbol associated with indices ing. Okay, simply put Bij, B11, B12, etc. we have to put. Then for each row I representing the relation Ri, we have to do the following. For each column J representing the attribute Aj, we have to check if the relation Ri includes attribute Aj, then set Sij as Aj. Okay, so take each row representing Ri and for each column in that Ri, what we have to do? If that relation Ri includes attribute Aj, that is the projection of R into Ri, that is the set of attributes for Ri, right? And that include Aj, then set Sij as Aj. Okay. Like that we have to fill the required cells. Okay. Now coming to the next step, that is repeat the following loop until a complete loop execution results in no changes to S. Okay, so we have to repeat the following steps. For each functional dependency x determines y in F, we have to take each functional dependency one by one and we have to process the table. Okay, matrix. For all rows in S which have the same symbols in the columns corresponding to the attributes in X, but you have to check, you have to take the X part and we have to take all the rows in the matrix in which X is same. Okay, so all those we have to select simultaneously and what we have to do, make the symbols in each column that corresponds to an attribute Y be the same in all these rows as follows. We have to change the attribute Y part, okay, corresponding to each of those rows. We have to find the column which contains a Y and we have to make it same for all those rows. How we can make? If any of the rows has an A symbol for the column, we already put some A symbols based on previous step, right? And we have to check any of these rows has an A symbol for the column, set the other rows to the same A symbol in the column. And if no such case, if no A symbol exists for the attribute in any of the rows, choose one of the B symbol that appear in one of the rows of the attribute and set other rows to be the same. If there is no A, one of the B should be selected and put all those rows the same B part. Okay, we can see an example and that will be clear. Now the last step. So we have to repeat this until no changes are made to S. Okay. And the last step is, if a row is made up entirely of A symbols, then the decomposition has lossless join property, otherwise it does not. So after crossing the steps 4, any of the rows in this matrix contains purely of A symbols. We can say that this decomposition is lossless, otherwise it does not. Okay. Now we can see an example. So given an example, we have to test whether this decomposition satisfies lossless join properties. So we have a relation R with attribute SSN, ename, pnumber, pname, plocation and hours, and we are given a decomposition D as R1 and R2, where R1 is employee locations, attributes are ename and plocation, and R2 is employee project with attributes SSN, pnumber, hours, pname and plocation, and we are given a set of functional dependencies. F as SSN determines ename, pnumber determines pname and plocation, SSN and pnumber together determines hours. So these are the inputs. Now we have to check whether this decomposition is lossless. Okay. So as an initial step, what we have to do? We have to create a matrix, right? How many rows and columns will be there? Rows will be equal to the number of relations in the decomposition. So here we have two different relations in the decomposition. So we have two rows, R1 and R2. And how many columns for the matrix? How many attributes are there in the original relation? So that much columns will be there. So corresponding to each attribute in the original relation, we have a column. So SSN, ename, pnumber, pname, plocation and hours are the columns. Now how will you fill the values here? So initially how will you fill the values? Just put Bij, right? Bij, where I is the row number and J is the column number. So B11, B12, B13, B14, etc., B16, like that, B21, B22, B23, etc., B26. Those are the initial values. Then how will you change the values? We have to take each relation. So we will take R1, and if the corresponding R1 contains this attribute, okay, R1 contains ename and plocation, right? So ename is there, SSN is not there, so it remains as B1 itself. Since ename is there in R1, we have to put A values here, that is A2, okay, where 2 is the corresponding column number. A is indicating that the corresponding attribute is there in corresponding row, so A2. And what about P number? P number is not there, P location only remaining, right? So P location will be put as A5. The remaining will be B's itself. Okay. Like that, R2. R2 contains SSN, right? So you write here A1. P number is there, so A3. Hours is there, so A6. Like that, corresponding to each attributes in this relation, we have to put A values. The remaining will be still B values. So the matrix is filled with the corresponding values. Now what is the next step? Go to step 4, right? In which we are taking each and every functional dependency, and based on that we will update this matrix, right? So coming to step 4, we have to take each functional dependency x determines y in F, and we have to take all the columns in this matrix in which x is the same, right? Then replace y. Okay, so we can see that step here. We have to take the first functional dependency SSN determines ename, and we have to check whether any of these matrix rows having the same value in x part. Here it is A1, here it is B11, so it's not the same. So leave that functional dependency. Take the second one. P number determines P name, P location. Whether any two relations having P number column having the same value, P number is this, right? B13, A3, not same. And take the third dependency, that is SSN, P number. If this combination have the same value, SSN, B11, no, never, it will not be, right? Already we are checked for SSN. We don't have any such relation. So definitely this combination also will not be the same. So we don't have any changes to be done in this matrix, right? So step 4 is over. So coming to step 5. But you have to check whether any of the rows in this matrix having fully of A symbols. Do we have such a row? No, all the 2 rows having B symbols inside, right? That means this decomposition D as R1 and R2 does not having the lossless join property. That is the result of this test. Okay. Now coming to the next example. So we have here employee with 2 attributes SSN and ename, project having 3 attributes and work zone having the 3 attributes SSN, P number and hours. So let us see how this algorithm can be applied to this decomposition. So we have a relation with all these attributes SSN, ename, P number, P name, P location and hours, and we have a decomposition D as R1, R2 and R3 where R1 containing SSN and ename, R2 containing P number, P name and P location and R3 contains SSN, P number, hours. Okay, so this is the decomposition and the functional dependencies are the same. SSN determines ename, P number determines P name and P location, SSN and P number together determines hours. These are the functional dependencies. So as an initial step we have to create the matrix, right, with 3 rows corresponding to each relation, each decomposition relation. We have a row here and corresponding to each attribute we have a column here, and fill the values like B11, B12 etc. That will be the initial values, and then we have to change the corresponding values checking each relation. So if R1 contains SSN, R1, what is R1 here? It contains SSN and ename. So SSN will be A1 and ename will be, where is ename? Ename is A2, right? Like that for R2 we have P number, P name and P location. So corresponding values will be changed as A's, A3, A4 and A5. Like that R3 also we have to change the corresponding column values. So this will be the initial values for the matrix. Now we have to apply step 4 of our algorithm. We have to take a dependency SSN determines ename. Okay, take that dependency. Now we have to check whether any rows in this matrix having the same value for this X part. X part is SSN here. We have R1 and R3 having the same value for this X part, right? Both having A1. Okay, so what do you have to do? The Y part, we have to take the Y part. Y part is ename, right? Just check the Y part. If any of these rows having the Y part with A symbol, here R1 having A2 as the Y part, right? So make it as the Y value for R3 also. So change B32 into A2. Okay. So that is over. Take the second dependency, P number determines P name and P location, and check whether any of these relations having the same X part. R2 and R3 having X part, that is P name as the same value, A3, right? So take their Y part. What is Y part? P name, P location, right? So P name, P location is A4 and A5 for R2. A symbols are there. So change the corresponding Y part of R3 also the same. So A4, B34 will be changed into A4 and B35 will be changed into A5. Okay. Now coming to the next dependency, SS and P number together determines hours. So do we have any two relations or any number of relations having the same value for the X part? We will check. X part is SS and P number A1, B13, B21, A3, A1, A3. No two relations or no any of the two relations having the same X part, right? So we can't change anymore. So this is how the matrix look like after applying the step 4 in our case. Now the fifth step, that is the last step, we have to check whether any of the rows in this matrix having entirely A values, A symbols, R1 don't have, R2 also doesn't have. What about R3? Yeah, R3 contains fully A symbols, right? So that means this decomposition is lossless. Okay. So this is how we can apply this algorithm and test for lossless joint properties. The remainder you can see in the next session. Thank you.